Okay, so question here is solve the equation z cubed minus 8 is equal to 0, where z is an element of C, z is a complex number. Okay, may or may not be on the exam question. It's quite important here, but just I'll cover that in a second. But just z cubed minus 8 is equal to 0. You've been asked to solve, bring the minus 8 over, z cubed equals 8. Okay, so just wrote it like that because they could ask it like that, but that's what it's looking for. Okay, z cubed is equal to 8 and solve for z. Okay, now something cubed is equal to 8. Like if I gave you x cubed is equal to 8 and I asked you what's x equal to, you'd say cube root of 8. What number do I multiply 3 times to get 8? X is equal to 2. Okay, and that's not the answer they're looking for here. They kind of explicitly say where z is an element of C, even if they didn't put that down, but they put this in the complex numbers question. They want us to use the method involving general polar form and de Moivre, and you'll see it's going to throw up a couple of other solutions, not just 2. Okay, but just to cover that off. Okay, so the z, the fact that it comes up in the complex number question here, explicitly saying z is an element of complex numbers, says they don't just want this. Okay, they say they want you to use the same method I used in the last example I did, involving general polar form and complex numbers. Okay, so I'm going to write 8 in general polar form. Okay, so this is a number with a real part, no imaginary part. So when I'm converting that, it will be 8xy 0. Second function, 8 then. So that number is 8 cis 0. Okay, so z cubed is equal to 8 cis, and I'll write it in general polar form straight away here, 0 plus n 360. So plus as many 360s as you want. So cube root of both sides, so both sides to the power of a third to get rid of this 3 over here. So I will get z is equal to 8 cis 0 plus n 360 to the power of a third. So that's equal to 8 to the power of a third on, so de Moivre, multiply your power in, so 0 by a third is still just 0, so cis of cis of 0 plus 360 times a third is 120, so plus n times 120. Okay, so just write it out in full now rather than using that abbreviation. Cis 8 to the power of a third is 2. Okay, there it is. So 2 times the cos of 0 plus n times 120 plus I sine 0 plus n times 120. All right, so it's z to the power of 3, so I'm going to have 3 solutions here. First solution I'm going to get by subbing 0 in for n. Okay, so when n is equal to 0, I get 2 times 0 in for n, so 0 times 120 is just 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, so it's 2 times the cos of 0 plus, and it will be I times 0 as well. I sine of 0. All right, when n is equal to 1, I'm going to get 2 times 120 times 1 is 120 plus 0. So cos 120 plus I sine 120. And then n is equal to 3. I'm going to get 2 times, n is equal to 2. 2 times 120 is 240 plus 0 is 240. So the cos of 240 plus I sine 240. So there's my 3 solutions in polar form. Again, I'm going to want to write those in rectangular form. So that's the default here, even if they don't explicitly say it, is to change these back into rectangular form. So cos of 0 is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Sine of 0 then is 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. So that one is 2, which we might expect. Is equal to then cos of 120 is minus a half multiplied by 2. I get minus 1. The sine of 120 then is root 3 over 2 multiplied by 2, just root 3. So plus root 3i. And then the last one, the cos of 240 is equal to that. Multiply it by 2 and I get minus 1. The sine of 240 is equal to minus root 3 over 2. Multiply that by 2 and I get minus root 3i. So there's my 3 solutions for z. Okay, so this is equal to z. All right, so z to the power of 3, I got 3 solutions. All right, like I said, I think in the last example, I will multiply the 3 of these out. You don't need, you've finished this question now. You found your 3 solutions. All right, I'm going to multiply the 3 of these by each other just to show that it does equal 8. Okay, that it's not just kind of 2 as our solution here. I can multiply the 3 of these by each other and get just a real number, just 8. Okay, so I'll just do that over here. So I've got 2 multiplied by minus 1 plus root 3i multiplied by minus 1 minus root 3i. All right, so I'll multiply these by each other first and then multiply the 2 in. So minus 1 by minus 1 is plus 1. Minus 1 by minus root 3i is plus root 3i. Root 3i by minus 1 is minus root 3i. Root 3i by minus root 3i is minus 3i squared. So this is equal to 2 times 1 plus root 3i minus root 3i. So that's 0. Whenever you get I squared in a complex number question, you sub in minus 1. So minus 3 by minus 1 is plus 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, so that is just showing that these 3 complex numbers, when multiplied together, do give you 8. So they are solutions to that equation. All right.